G'day, Bomber fans. When it rains, it pours. There are some worrying headlines going around right now. There's a fair bit to talk about today. It is our September trade update. But yeah, most of it's bad news, it seems. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get into it. Alright, Zach Merrett, this really does deserve its own video. I will be posting one soon. This just has to be part of the update because there is news here, but yeah, he is seriously thinking about a move away from Essendon. That is what we know. Tom Morris reports that he has met with Hawthorn and their coach Sam Mitchell. He has also been in contact with Collingwood and the Western Bulldogs. There will be more clubs as well. Clubs are starting to come hard for him, and it's not because he's a good player. He's a good player, but it's because they think he's gettable. He is not happy with being a part of another rebuild at Essendon, and yeah, the captain of the club may be wanting out, or according to Sam Edmund, he does want out. Now, he hasn't said anything to Essendon yet. He hasn't made his intentions clear. He hasn't requested a trade, but he is clearly thinking about it. He's meeting with other clubs. So yeah, this is big news, and not just because of the possibility of a trade. By the way, I don't think he's going to be traded. I think he's going to stay at Essendon. The club have made it clear that Merrett is not for sale. The board actually had a meeting recently and discussed that very point, that Merrett would not be leaving. But it's also hard to see how clubs like Hawthorn can facilitate a trade without ruining drafts. They'd have to pay overs. I don't think they have the capacity to do that. Neither do the Pies. Neither do the Dogs. I think it's too hard. I think he's staying. He's still contracted. But the fact that he's looking around, yeah, now you got to question the captaincy, I think. You know, I've got no doubts that he's going to come in next year and give 100% in the red and black, but can you stay captain if you're not 100% invested? Because he's clearly not. He's meeting with rival clubs. Yeah, a lot here. Merrett is meeting with clubs. He's thinking about a trade. It is massive. It's big news. It's the biggest indication we've ever had that Merrett is thinking about a move away from Essendon. He clearly is, so it's a big watch here. I'm going to have his own video out soon, but he's just a small part of this update with many, many more reports. Jordan Ridley is another big one. So he apparently requested a trade from the club, or made his intentions clear that he wants to trade away from the club. This was a little bit debunked to an extent. The Bombers responded saying that they had not been made aware of this, and later reports suggested that although Ridley was unsettled and unhappy with the way his body has been at the club, he hadn't gone to the levels of seeking a trade. But that's yet. There's a yet there, because it doesn't mean he won't. He may still look to find a new home, but I don't think he has yet. But yeah, I think that contract just looks hard to exit from. The club's probably going to be pretty firm here and give him at least another year under Matt Innes to see if things improve with his body. I think Ridley is likely to stay for next year, but the reports were he was keen on a move to Brisbane. He's got family there. They've got a track record of getting injured players right. I just don't think it happens personally. Sam Draper is leaving. He is going to Brisbane. We know that. Well, actually, we don't know yet that he's officially joining Brisbane. He's informed the club he's leaving, but he hasn't said he's going to the Lions. It does look like he is, though. They're by far the front runners. The question now is compensation, and it's apparently right on the cusp of Band 1. Compensation is worked out around the contract and the terms that the player agrees to with their new club. Something that plenty were thinking about that I saw was the fact that he was being offered a 5-year deal with a trigger for the 6th, and many thought that trigger could be enough to move it up to Band 1. That isn't the case. So triggers do not affect compensation. It is simply what he signs at the moment, the money he's on, the length, the age of the player. If we had to guess, it is probably more likely to be Band 2, which would be the end of first round, but yeah, you never know till you know. Band 1 would give us a third top 10 pick, so that is the wish. So according to Sam McClure, who is someone I don't really trust heaps with his news, but we got to talk about it anyway, according to him, North Melbourne are looking to bring in Elijah Tsatas. There hasn't been much more on top of that. The club have said that he is a required player. That could just be a way to drive up the price, but they've said that. I think we either hear about this one more or we don't. Like, it's not a very high profile story, and I think we probably I think we need someone else other than McClure to chime in on it. That's what I'm hoping for, because like at the moment it is just him, and I apologise to Sam, but he has been wrong quite a few times before, so a watch on this one. Jayden Laverde is looking fairly likely to leave Essendon as an unrestricted free agent this year. So this comes after he tried but failed to get more contract security with the Bombers last year and sought out options in the trade period but failed to get any significant interest. That was probably because he was contracted. This year it is a lot easier for him to move because he is an unrestricted free agent. He can go wherever he wants. And the GWS Giants are supposedly keen on him. They've even organised a meeting with him showing that they are thinking about his spot on their list. Now recently Laverde did sell his Melbourne residence, but I don't know if that's a serious serious indication of his move, considering nothing has been finalised yet. Now, a little Zac Bailey update. So the Bombers are set to go pretty hard at Bailey, try and lure him in across. He is a restricted free agent next year, and that is when the Bombers will be making a big play. I don't think they'll be doing anything this year with draft picks, but yeah, we're offering a 6-year contract at $1.3 million, according to Cal Toomey. What is new here is that another club has joined the race early. The Adelaide Crows are set to also hunt Bailey pretty hard, so the Dons will be very keen on Bailey, but so will the Crows and other teams, according to Mark McGowan in The Age. Bailey usually gets to his contract extensions at the end of seasons, and if he doesn't sign on past 2026 by the end of this year, this will be one to watch. Brayden Fiorini, so he has really turned his career around this year. It was looking like he was in line for a delisting at the start of the season. He has now made himself an important player back in that Gold Coast side, playing finals footy. The Suns have a 2-year offer for him on the table, but the free agent is getting attention. Port Adelaide are keen, Essendon are keen, and according to Cal Toomey, these teams could potentially look to lock away the Suns midfielder on a longer contract. He's 28 years old, an unrestricted free agent, so wouldn't require a trade. This one will probably be pretty low-key and won't really play out until the Suns finish their finals campaign, but the Dons are one of a few teams interested. Now, this is an unpopular one when I posted about it, but according to Mitch McGowan, Essendon are one of a number of clubs to have inquired about Carlton swingman and free agent Mitch McGovern. He pretty famously was one game off meeting a games played clause to extend his contract past this year. He didn't meet that threshold, which means he is now well and truly in play for rival clubs. I'm not sure how keen we would be, but we have been in the market for cheaper defenders this year to improve our depth, so that would be why we are asking the question. And just on that, so we haven't been specifically linked yet, but I have no doubts that the club would at the very least be thinking about Adelaide defender Jordon Butts. So I spoke about him in a video I uploaded this morning, and then on Gettable, Cal Toomey came out and reported that clubs were inquiring about Butts, who has fallen out of favour at the Adelaide Crows behind Mark Keane and Josh Worrell. Butts on his day is a solid defender, just not quite first team in the best defence in the league right now. But yeah, if clubs are keen, according to Cal Toomey, if the Bombers are meeting with other key defenders like McGovern and Silvani, it probably means that we're in the mix of teams maybe inquiring about Butts' availability as well. Nothing confirmed or anything, but I wouldn't be surprised to see us eventually linked here. Connor Budarick, so we are linked here. We are one of quite a few clubs keen on him. He is currently playing footy for the Suns. He's actually found his way back into that first team this year after playing barely 20 games across the previous 4 seasons before it. There are quite a few clubs that are keen. Some are apparently offering up to 5 years on his contract, which is crazy for someone who has played so little footy, but he is a solid player, really solid player. I wouldn't mind him at Essendon, but yeah, as it is with these finals teams, we do have to wait until the Suns are eliminated to see what happens here with their exit meetings and everything. There's a lot to play out. Now, Elijah Hollands. Okay, so nothing confirmed here yet at all, alright? All we know is that he's been told by Carlton that he should look to explore his options elsewhere. They are unhappy with the way he not performs on the field, but off the field. He's a really decent player. He's played good footy for the Blues, but his off-field problems have, they've begun to seep through a bit, and the club have told him to seek out a new home. Now, I don't think any clubs have been publicly named yet, but I believe the Bombers have had a look, and I don't know if it's a proper look or just a think, but I'm confident enough in what I've been told to say that the club has, at the very least, had a think about Elijah Hollands. The thing here is, I'm guessing every club has. Like, he is good enough to be on any AFL list. I like the way he plays, but if clubs get an indication that he is maybe not the best fit professionally, then yeah, I don't know. There's a lot to play out here with all clubs, but he is both in demand but being avoided, I reckon, from the sound of the things. But yeah, a bit to play out with Elijah Hollands. Now, before we go, on screen, we have a list of some of our previous targets this year and what is happening with them. So these are guys that the Bombers were at one stage linked with in the trade period, but they are all looking unlikely to join the Bombers now. So Liam Ryan, we were keen on him early in the year, but the Saints came hard. He is set to join St Kilda if a trade can be agreed. They're going really hard for some of these players. Campbell Chesser is another we reportedly had a little look at from West Coast. He has requested a move to Carlton. Speaking of Carlton, we had met with Jack Silvani earlier in the year, so did the Pies and the Bulldogs, but he is off to St Kilda. Brendan Starcevic, we are out of this race, I believe. We were keen, but it looks like he is deciding between staying at Brisbane or going to the West Coast Eagles. Now, as Bomber fans, we need to hope that he ends up with West Coast, because that has a chance of diluting their compensation for Oscar Allen, which would give us a higher draft pick. Malcolm Roses Jr., we have always had interest interest in him pretty much every season. This year it looks like we're in the back seat a bit. He's likely to seek a new home, but it seemed to be Richmond who lead the race, and the Swans are there too. Alex Davies, another Gold Coast son, so he is now probably staying put. He's always wanted game time at Gold Coast. He started to get that, and yeah, he's playing good footy in the final series for the Suns, which is good to see. Marcus Winhager, now he always wanted to stay at St Kilda just with a bit more security. They were offering him a 2-year deal. That he wasn't happy with that. They have now bumped it up to 4 years, which he will likely be signing. So those guys on screen, we've talked about them all at least once on this channel this year, but none of them are coming to Essendon, it looks like. Those are our previous targets who are now staying put or going elsewhere, but that is the end of another trade update. Not a fun one. We don't like seeing our captain in headlines. I'll talk about that in his own video. That really deserves his own video because there is a lot to talk about with that. Yeah, lots to talk about in the coming days. This is going to be a busy trade period, not only for Matt Rosa, but also for us nerdy content creators. So stay tuned for the channel. Plenty more to come. Cheers for watching. Like, subscribe, and go Bombers.